Hello and welcome. I'm Austin Kovalarczyk, arranger and composer, bringing you episode 4 of Book Review. First things first, before I show you the book, which is The Essential Dictionary of Orchestration by Dave Black and Tom Gerou, there's an important thing to point out. Look at this screen. Obviously, if you're like me, you're not going to look at the pictures of the book, because you're just going to assume normal book size. This is pretty obviously not the case, as I'm making a point of it. But this book is really small. Look at this thing. This is not a normal size book. In comparison, arranged by Nelson Riddle, another book I've shown on this channel, it's like a fourth of the size. This is probably the smallest book I own. It's just so weirdly tiny. But let's move past that, because I'm going to be very real with you. This book is packed with information, which is obviously why they call it a dictionary, because there's no fluff, just info. So I find the setup of this book fascinating. It's alphabetized by instrument groupings, and then alphabetized within those groupings. So the first section is bowed strings, with the first instrument being the contrabass, or double bass, as it has alternate names listed across the top. Just kind of weird to me, because, most books will go in score order. But, whatever works. Other than that, the book is broken up into 24 sections as follows: bowed strings, clarinets, double reeds, flutes, fretted strings, harmonica, harps, horns, keyboards, percussion, which is itself broken up into non-pitched metals, skins, woods, and pitched electronic, glass, metals, skins, and woods. Then saxophones, trombones, trumpets, tubas, voice, and then an index. I spent maybe 10-15 minutes flipping through this book and counting. There are approximately, because this is a high number to count to, about 184 different instruments in this book, including voices. Probably a few more, because there were a lot of instruments melded together into sections. I have no clue. There's just, like, the A and B flat clarinets are one section. There are things in here that I've never heard of, like the E flat flute, or the baritone oboe. Troubadour harp. Stuff that, unless you're like a specialist or know someone who is, you're not going to hear about these instruments that much. So I find it fascinating that they're included and so well covered. As someone who plays some rarer instruments, I really appreciate this. Now, most of the book is pretty standard fare: ranges, timbres, characteristics, anything you might need. There are 4 really specific sections I thought I'd highlight: about string techniques, about guitar notation, about percussion notation, and about mutes and articulations. These sections are attached to the larger sections of bowed strings, fretted strings, percussion, and trumpets, respectively. These sections are veritable gold mines of practical information. They're fascinating, truly. Very direct. Also, a quick plug for the accordion page, specifically for piano accordion, which does a lot better at explaining the accordion than a lot of books will. As an accordion player myself. Good stuff. Great to see it. So on the content side of things, jam-packed. Easy to read, full of great stuff, honestly pretty cool. But before my final verdict, accessibility. Despite being published in 1998, the book is still incredibly accessible. As you might recall from the start of the video, the book is super cheap. $10. A used book website will charge you like $4.50 for this. This is probably the most affordable book on my bookshelf, other than the ones I got for free. And maybe the PDF I spent like $2 printing. Final verdict. Is this a goodbye? Yeah, definitely. When they say essential or comprehensive or practical, they mean it. If you're writing for Western instruments that you're not familiar with, this is probably one of the most attainable resources you could look for. So yeah, that's the gist of it. If you like the review, as always, feel free to subscribe, like, all those things. If you want to see more of them, same gist. As always, if you've got the book or are planning on buying it, I'd love to hear your opinions in the comment sections. There are relevant links in the description, and that's all for now. See you next time.